From backflipping into a shark attack, to lighting himself on fire, getting into car accidents, and so much more. These are times Speed almost died. And first, Speed almost got murdered by his own pet? See, even though he spent $100,000 on a robot dog, and at first things were going great.
Yo, come on! Come here, boy! Ah! Hold on!
One day, the robot turned on him with something deadly.
I want to see you bark. Say, bark, bark! Ah! God damn it! Hey! Stop! Hey! No! No, hold on. I'm about to call the police. Kill it. I'm shipping it back to China. No.
Damn, but almost being roasted by his robo-dog isn't nearly as crazy as the time Speed risked his own life just to go viral for millions of views. See, Speed's been known to do backflip stunts before, but out in Guatemala, he wanted to take things to a whole new level. Up on this mountain was the iconic Hand of God sculpture, and well, what do you think Speed wanted to do with it? Was it A, take a pic with it like a normal person? B, run away from it? C, fantasize about Ronaldo like he always does? Or D, do a flip while dangling hundreds of feet in the air and risk his life for his fans?
What?
Well,
Okay, this is very dangerous. I'm about to do a backflip off the Hand of God. If I fall, it's over with. Let's go!
damn, he really pulled it off and gave us D. And even fans knew for him to even attempt that, he didn't fear death, and Speed nearly met God. But if it weren't for firefighters in these next moments, Speed might not have survived. Because without the help of professionals, Speed could have been burned alive multiple times. I mean, we're talking about a man who actually let himself get lit on fire.
I'm on fire! Crouch. I'm falling!
Only Speed, man. And that wasn't Speed's only run-in with flames either. His house also went up in flames after he lit fireworks inside. But even though Speed eventually realized that doing things like that in his crib were terrible ideas, another day, he decided to become Professor Speed and attempt a science experiment playing with elephant toothpaste.
Oh! What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? I can't breathe. I'm not dead. I can't breathe.
With his entire room damn near exploding, toxic fumes releasing everywhere, fire alarms going off, and Speed freaking out, firefighters had to immediately hop in their trucks and rush to the rescue. And now with Speed fighting to even breathe, all his fans in the comments were concerned about how he could die, praying for his health. Some were even clowning how stupid the situation was and giving him an award for being a dumbass. So, with Speed being so seemingly prone to being burnt alive, I wouldn't even be surprised if dude tried becoming a firefighter. Oh wait, he did do that. But listen, something even training couldn't help Speed prevent happened while he was visiting Tokyo, when out of nowhere, he posted something scary.
Hello guys, quick update. I don't know what I have right now. I'm about to go through surgery right now. I love y'all boys so much, you know. I've been feeling my eyes puffing up. It feel like somebody is stabbing my eye with a knife. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all boys to always be right there with me until I die.
Love y'all. I never experienced anything like this. My mom and dad about to fly all the way to Tokyo. So please, just pray for me, please.
This obviously had doctors running tests, and they found out that Speed was suffering from such a severe sinus infection that if it was left untreated, it could kill him. So all Speed did was tweet out asking everyone to pray for him. Fans rushed to his hospital to support him. And luckily, not only did Speed begin recovering, he was even able to celebrate hitting 19 million subscribers while still in the hospital.
Come on.
Big 19 million, bro. Big 19! Let's go.
But honestly, I'm just glad Speed lived to see another day. But this next near-death experience could have ended up way worse, because it took place hundreds of feet in the sky.
So we make Ronaldo. Oh! 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 Oh!
Now, yeah, you might be thinking, how'd he almost die there? Well, things weren't nearly as safe as they seem, because after looking back at the clip of his jump, Speed noticed something terrifying.
Yo! Chay, I remember yesterday when I did the strap? Bro, watch this video. Bro, I almost died. Bro, the strap was disconnected. The hook disconnected. What the hell?
Wow, so with one of his hooks being completely disconnected, Speed's just lucky that jump didn't end up getting him killed. And what's crazy is, that isn't even the first time he flew through the air and almost died. There's a reason this video is called IShowSpeed Almost Dies in New Zealand, because after signing up for a freefall ride from high up in the sky, he not only ignored the first red flag when he almost fainted just being up there, Speed still decided to go through with the crazy jump, and well. And after hearing Speed moaning like that, ain't no way in hell I'll ever attempt that. But what if I told you there's been times Speed almost died from things he put in his mouth? Like that time he tried to look tough by eating what's known as the hottest chip in the world that, funny enough, literally comes shipped in a coffin.
Woo! Hot chip challenge! It's not.
911, what's your emergency?
I can't breathe!
What's going on?
I can't breathe!
I honestly don't even know what Speed expected to happen when plenty of other celebrities tried doing that before and already freaked out.
You win, Chuck. Ooh, water made it worse.
But Speed almost dying that time wasn't nearly as bad as him eating something much worse for another challenge. There was a trend going viral online of people eating household objects like soap bars, sponges, crayons, and more. But what Speed didn't know was that the entire trend was a joke, where all those people were actually eating edible sweets or novelty chocolates that were made just to look like those items. So Speed, on the other hand, tried fitting in by eating real soap.
First one, let's go.
Oh, God, this is disgusting.
What the fuck?
Random sit.
What the you mean chocolate challenge? I thought it was real!
Man, and after finding out that he could possibly die from eating that, then calling 911, even fans were concerned if he stayed alive after all that. But listen, as crazy as this might sound, not every almost dying situation for Speed is so serious. Cause sometimes it happens during a prank. Cause when Speed traveled to, wait, where are we?
This is Brazil.
Thanks, Baldy. Here in Brazil, Speed was all smiles and just living it up until some cartel gang members suddenly confronted him with weapons.
Relax, tranquilo. Calma.
That'd be prank, chat. That'd be prank. Don't ever do that, bro. Oh my God, I thought I died.
Wait, all that for a prank? That's crazy. But not as crazy as the time Speed almost got killed by the police. Even though Speed said the cops called on him multiple times before to the point of being interrogated and even cuffed, this time Speed was just innocently streaming Fortnite when out of nowhere, he heard something scary.
What is going on?
We got squatted, bro.
Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back, y'all.
A SWAT team busted into his home and had guns trying to potentially kill Speed, all cause a psychotic fan reported him for no reason. Now, in the end, luckily they let Speed go. And what's crazy is that near-death situation wasn't even Speed's fault. Unlike another time Speed almost died, and it could have gotten his channel banned. Listen, quick disclaimer, I've already gotten a strike on my channel trying to show this near-death experience before, so I am gonna have to censor the clips pretty heavily, and I better not see any comments crying about it, especially when you could just take that energy and, you know, subscribe instead. Anyways, after Speed saw Kobe do the impossible by jumping over a speeding car,
I told you.
Speed knew he had the opportunity to one-up a sports goat by doing it not only one time,
Best person in the world!
after dapping up his daddy, Speed went even crazier by doing it again.
Come on! Come! Another one! Come! Stop! I did it again!
Look at Speed, man. Do you really risk dying just to keep us entertained? Insane. But speaking of cars, Speed almost died in car accidents 5 different times. And the first time, K-Mo Speed was taking his driver's test.
I do not have my driver's license. I had my temporary permit, okay? But today is the day.
Just watch your drift here, watch your drift. Make sure you stay between the lines.
Oh, Oh my fucking God.
It's okay.
Crashing during the actual test? After seeing that, I just wonder how the dude ever even got his license. Regardless, somehow he managed to, and that's when he decided to become a driving instructor himself?
Chat, we're teaching Jamal how to drive today, chat.
But as comfortable as Speed and his bros seemed at first, things almost immediately started taking a wild turn. Literally.
Turn right, you good. Just keep turning right. You good. Stay in the lane. Stay in the lane. Get on the road. You're not on the road right now, Jamal.
My fault, sir.
Okay, alright. Turn. What the f are you? Turn this up! Is you playing?
No, I'm not.
What is you doing, bruh? Turn, bro. I'm at the beach.
What?
Turn right. Oh, hell no.
And after nearly crashing off the road, they eventually pulled over until Jamal wanted to make Speed fear for his life one last time.
Here you go. What the f? Yo, what you doing? Get out. Get out.
What?
Get out.
What? Let me take you over there first.
No, get out.
Let me take you over there.
Get out.
No, get in here.
Get out.
No, let me take you out of here.
Alright, at this point, Speed should have just stopped getting involved with cars completely. But once he traveled to Thailand, here's where the third incident was about to take place.
Alright, come on, brother.
Yeah.
You ready?
Slowly release the clutch. Slow.
Oh, oh, wait, hold on, stop. Oh,
Honestly, from now on, Speed should just Uber or maybe bus?
I had better Australian food. What the? Did he just? Is he? Yo, you bumping a fucking car? What the? She just rear bumped us.
Regardless, this fourth incident was completely different, because it involved Speed in a whole new countrywide tour while riding a big, black vehicle. Now, even though his tours are always heavily protected, his fat ass head was plastered all over the bus, so not only did that have fans always knowing where he was. One day while driving down the street, fans started racing up next to him, braking right in front of him to try boxing him into traffic, and even driving dangerously by swerving all around him.
Wait, we got pulled over? For what?
Okay, we're back on our way.
What happened?
Fans cutting in, pinning us in, swerving in front, and then the cops needed witness statements from us.
Why are they doing that?
I have no idea why they're doing that.
Y'all fucking tripping, bro. Yo, bro, if you in the street right now and you slowing down on a bus, bro, stop doing that. What the hell is you doing?
Man, sometimes Speed's fans just go way too far, but we already made a video about way crazier times they did that over here, so you can go watch that after this video, alright? But when it comes to Speed's fifth, final, and most recent car situation that could have killed him, it only happened because he wanted to hang out with a fat ass. Western Champlin is one of the most famous car stunt YouTubers in the entire world, and after Speed met up with him, things immediately started off crazy. From Speed getting to drive whatever the hell an inverted truck is,
I'm driving a reverse car. Reverse car, baby. Yeah, W's in the tech.
to doing donuts in something with over 2,000 horsepower. Speed was already looking like he thought he could potentially die, but they kept trying more and more vehicles where Speed learned how to drift for himself. He got to hop in a car killer to crush any vehicle in his way, and just when Speed thought they were finally done doing enough,
Oh, dude, we're not done.
Oh, we're not done.
We're not done.
it was time for their final stunt, where Speed was gonna make a car fly.
Oh my God, I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm dead. Oh my God, I'm fucking dead. What happened?
What happened is you just flew your first car.
Man, I do not know how Speed went through all that and survived. But alright, enough about cars, this is a Speed video, not Fast and Furious.
So forget about it, cuz.
Besides, Speed isn't always so lucky, because his WWE appearance ended so badly, it ruined his career.
I'm never coming to WWE again. I'm never coming here again.
It was the 2025 Royal Rumble, and Speed was given full access to the entire event, like going backstage and meeting some baddie wrestlers like Zelina,
Thank you, appreciate that. Ooh. Okay, peace out.
getting whipped by Bianca Belair,
Let me see that hair thing.
Trying to see it?
I want to feel it. I want to feel one.
You gotta watch it, but you can't.
Oh, damn. Damn. Oi.
and of course seeing or not seeing my GOAT John Cena.
Where's he at? John Cena, where's he at?
I have no idea. I haven't seen him.
Where is John Cena at?
Alright, and then when it was time for the real show, Speed not only ran out and got the entire building lit, he even shocked the world by actually getting a couple of eliminations, and of course hitting his iconic Suey. Now, alright, everything was going great, or, well, at least until... Oh my god, Speed got destroyed. Now, even though this whole thing was obviously all scripted, because I mean, you know, it's the WWE, duh, Speed's fall actually went horribly wrong. Not only was he stuck on the ground, unable to move, WWE personnel had to help him get up, and you could clearly see his chest was in pain. But nobody knew the worst part of his injury until cameras not only showed Speed being carted out the arena while going through some pretty serious pain, they also revealed a cut on his leg that was so nasty, it ruined his chances of ever coming back to the WWE again.
I'm never coming to WWE again. I'm never coming here again.
And I definitely understand why. Because not only was he seen backstage having to wear a neck brace and crutches, he later revealed on stream just how badly he was injured.
Bro, I'm not going back to WWE, bro.
Why?
Why? What you mean, why? I broke my damn neck, and I messed my rib cage up. I couldn't walk for 2 days.
Now, as bad as all that was, and Speed admitting that he actually thought he was nearly gonna die, at least in the end it got him rewarded with a special gift.
The Prime Team want to get you a little something.
What?
Ready?
You gotta fucking stop this, bro. No way this dude gave me a starship. IShowSpeed.
But listen, as hyped as Speed was about that, little did he even know that could potentially kill him next. See, Cybertrucks have started on fire, been known to make headlines because of how deadly they are, and have issues that cause the trucks to accelerate on their own. So hopefully this is not something Speed's driving that often, or at all. But probably the craziest way Speed's almost died is when he almost got killed by deadly animals. See, anyone who watches Speed knows that him and animals don't ever really work that well together. I mean, he's had streams ruined by getting chased by pit bulls.
Hell no! Hell no!
Gotten bit by other dogs.
You bit me!
He's even been punked by a couple monkeys.
What's up, bro? Oh, Chad, look. What's his name?
Luna.
Hey, Luna. Luna, you're so beautiful. You make me... Hey, stop! Oh, you just fucking bit me! What's good? Hey. You gonna scratch your ass in front of me? That's it? Give me a handshake.
There's even a time he tried to ride a psychotic bull and nearly broke his ass.
Speed game, come on, let's do this. You good? You good right here?
And even though you'd think Speed learned his lesson from those minorly dangerous animals, he didn't. So that's why at first, when he encountered a real-life tiger, he almost got killed.
I got dogs at home, look. Come here, wait. Yep. Sip. Uh-oh, nope. Oh. Help me. Help me. We get out. Get out. Get me out this.
And even after almost getting attacked or eaten by that, man still tried to do the stupidest thing he could with an even more deadly animal. Remember those backflips Speed's always doing? Well, even though he almost died from a backflip earlier, Mance really wasn't thinking when he was in the ocean and wanted to attempt his riskiest backflip of all time in shark-infested waters.
Count down for 5.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, not really smooth.
A shot!
Get him out!
It's a f***ing shark down there.